Hey everyone, this is Steve here from ProgrammingMadeEasy.com, and today I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to actually review an article, and I posted this article up on Programming Made Easy's Facebook page. So if you want to go check it out, you can go over there to facebook.com/ProgrammingMadeEasy. Again, letter E, letter Z. And you can check out my Facebook page there. I've got a bunch of good stuff that I post up there. I love to post memes, technology and software development related memes, so you should definitely check it out there. I post a lot of what I think is good stuff. I hope you guys enjoy it too. But one of the things that I also sometimes do is I will post articles that I think are pretty interesting or pretty relevant. And I thought it might be a good idea to review some of those articles here on my YouTube channel so that you guys can kind of see what my thoughts are on some of these different things. So this particular article, and I'm going to go ahead and transition here to the article. So this is written on Hacker Noon, which is a pretty good page. I go here occasionally. And this is written by, and I'm terrible with names, but I'm going to give it my best shot here. Juho Vitasalo. Juho Vitasalo. I don't know. Hopefully somebody can point me in the right direction. This was actually written all the way back in October, but it just recently came across my desk. And basically what his article here is about is dismantling the full stack buzz. So he kind of goes into a little bit of a historical analysis and in-depth look at what does it mean to be a full stack developer? Like, what is that? What are we talking about when we say full stack? And to me, and I'm just going to give kind of my opinion out front so you guys know where I'm coming from. To me, full stack has become kind of this term for somebody who is a general practitioner of software development. So if I was to, I think the closest analogy I can come up with is the general practitioner you might go to for a doctor, right? If you have some sort of problem, they're not necessarily a specialist in any one particular area, but they know a lot about a lot of different areas that they can diagnose 90 to 95% of the problems, give you what you need to kind of go about maybe even solving the problem by giving you the appropriate drugs or appropriate treatments or, giving you the best advice of how to proceed and move forward for your health. So I think that's kind of what a full stack developer is. They have an understanding of everything from top to bottom, from front-end frameworks and JavaScript, HTML, CSS, or whatever other type of, it doesn't have to be web, right? There's web development full stack, and then there's also like desktop development full stack. So, like if you are in the .NET genre, then you might know WPF or UWP or something like that. You would know how to build a front-end interface for the user to work with, as well as the back-end business rules that make the business work and what to do when certain actions occur, as well as how do you store and maintain the data, so some database understanding as well. So that's, to me, what a full-stack developer is. They have to know kind of the whole thing. They may not specialize in any one of those particular areas, but they can solve the majority of the problems that might occur. Now, what's key to this, though, is just like your primary care doctor, if there is one particular area that is really needing some special skill to be applied to that particular problem, then your general practitioner or your full stack developer typically would need to hand that over to the specialist in that area. So if you're having some, you've got some database corruption issues, then maybe that's something that should be handed over to the DBA. If you really want somebody to make your front end look really, really nice, right? Make it as top notch as far as customer interaction goes. Then you might hire a UX developer, right? Somebody who specializes in the format and look and the feel of a front end and how it should appear, right? And if you're looking for somebody to fix some of the business rules or build some extra services that are kind of the foundation of your company, then you might hire a back-end developer specialist, not necessarily a full stack developer. So to me, that's kind of the best analogy, is what do you do for a doctor? You go to a general practitioner, they tell you if there's something that they can solve, they'll solve it, but if there's not and it's something that needs more of a specialty, they will redirect you to someone, right? They'll give you some sort of recommendation of who to go talk to. So That's my understanding of what full stack is, kind of more, I think, modern day. Let's take a look at what Juho says, and I'm not going to read the whole article. I'm going to obviously leave that up to you guys. It's a very long and lengthy article, but I do have some key points here that I just kind of wanted to bring out. I love his first statement. Full stack related terminology is buzzy as an angry bee locked in a tin can trying to attack you with a 10,000 volt taser. Right? Our industry is so full of buzzwords, right? RESTful services, HateOS, a full stack, back end, front end, UX design, architect, like buzzwords, microservices. Anyway, so it seems that both words full and stack have lost their meaning. They're mushed together to make a cool sounding, signifying nothing but some general nonsense. Compared to other buzzwords like DevOps, it's hard to find any decent definition for full stack developer, which is kind of funny because DevOps is also one of those buzzwords that doesn't really actually have a decent definition. It's just kind of DevOps is one of those, you do development, you understand development, but you also are part of the operations and administration of a network. So, you're more in like the Kubernetes and Docker and, Linux and Windows, Active Directory administration, services, HTTPS services, and SSL and SSH, and blah, 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 blah. Anyway, okay. So he goes into some background story while doing some research, right? He looks up, so he did go into archive.org, which is a really, really good website to go to. And he tracked down the first use of the full stack terminology to this blog post by Randy Schmidt. And it's weird because it seems to me that full stack is something that had been used before that, but I could be wrong. This is how far back he was able to find it. It was this blog post by Randy Schmidt back in 2008. And basically he says it's who could design, markup, styling, behavior, and programming, and could single-handedly spin up glorious websites and applications. So that's kind of true, right? Full stack developer is somebody who can do that, who can single-handedly build something, build a website, build an application from top to bottom, doesn't necessarily specialize in one thing, doesn't need help to solve a problem in another area. They could actually build something from scratch and make it into being. So he says, so what happened? Why are some people upset about using the term? So there is kind of this thing, and he actually points to it very, very early on in the article, how there's, when he says something like, I'm a full stack developer, certain people cringe at that idea. But yet, if you look at job postings, almost all of them say, we're looking for a full stack developer. Like almost all of them, like 90% of the postings you'll find are, we need a full stack developer. So why is there kind of this cringing around the term? Why are some people so upset about using the term? I started to understand this as I went forward. A later influential piece from 2010 is a post from Carlos Bueno, who is working at Facebook at the time. I've actually heard that name, Carlos Bueno. He refers to Schmidt's post and offers this definition. A full-stack programmer is a generalist, someone who can create a non-trivial application by themselves. He continues, people who develop broad skills also tend to develop a good mental model of how different layers of a system behave. This turns out to be especially valuable for performance and optimization work. No one can know everything about everything, but you should be able to visualize what happens up and down the stack as an application does its thing. And then after that, he goes into an example of performance where, you have to have some sort of in-depth knowledge of the whole stack in order to be able to troubleshoot. So then he goes into 2012. To me, a full-stack developer is someone with familiarity in each layer, if not a mastery in many, and a genuine interest in all software technology. I think that's a little too loose of a term, honestly. I think that's a little too non-specific, right? And that's kind of where we start to get to, where are the boundaries of this definition? Do we even need a definition? It seems to me we almost do need a definition of what a full-stack developer is. That way when we see these job postings, because here's the crux of the problem, and I'm just going to skip almost directly to the point. The crux of the problem is we see all of these job postings for full stack developer. But then when you start digging into what are the requirements that the company has for the person's, for what the person's going to be doing, it's really targeting specific technologies in almost every case. It's never really just we're looking for a general practitioner. We're looking for a general practitioner. Oh, by the way, you need to have like 15 years of experience working inside of, Oracle databases. And you need to have, a special understanding of React. It's kind of like we want a full stack developer, but someone who specializes in everything that we do. And it does cause some problems, because when you go and you do some job searches and you say like, oh, I'm looking for full stack positions, or you say you're a particular type of developer, a full stack developer in .NET or full, PHP or Ruby or whatnot, you'll end up seeing like the requirements. The job posting will say, yes, you fit. And then, you read a little bit more into the technologies that they're using and you're like, but none of what they're looking for actually applies to what I know, nor is it what actually was in my job search. And I think this is really becoming a problem. It's companies are looking for this kind of, this specialized knowledge to their company, which is understandable, right? They've been building their stack based upon this technology. But then because full stack is such a big buzzword, they'll throw that in there as part of the description, as part of the job description, right? So it becomes kind of this thing. You say, oh, I'm a full stack developer, and you go look at the thing and it's like, but everything is specialized for what they're looking for. So it is kind of a bit of a problem, and I think that that's one of the reasons why this article was written is, hey, we need to come up with a better, more solid definition of what full stack actually means, so that when we see these job postings and when the companies are posting these job positions and saying full stack, they actually mean full stack. They don't mean specialty stacks. Or I believe at one point he actually says, he's got a slightly different definition here, cross-stack developer. So as opposed to full stack developer, cross-stack developer. And I think this is a really good discussion to have as far as, should we have a separate term for what some of the companies are looking for? Somebody who has this understanding of multiple different stacks. And then the companies often use or kind of merge these different stacks to build what it is that they're doing, right? So I say this all the time. A full stack developer in .NET does not necessarily have to have Angular or React understanding, right? They don't need to know, you obviously need to know some HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, but you don't necessarily need to know React or Angular, yet that's almost required, right? If you're going to say full stack developer, even if it's in .NET, you don't necessarily have to build a .NET application using React or Angular, but it's almost like an expectation of the term. So really, it's a cross-stack developer. It's somebody who understands this framework and how you can build an app like a MERN stack or a mean stack, right? A MongoDB, an Express application, Angular, and Node.js, right? That's a mean stack. Mongo, Express, Angular, Node.js. That's mean stack. So that's really one stack. And then there's this .NET stack. And you can kind of have this crossover of different stacks that you understand, and that is a cross-stack developer, not necessarily a full-stack developer. Full stack is part of it, right? You could be a full-stack developer, but the specialty that the companies are looking for is really a cross-stack developer. And that's that's a good discussion. I don't know if that's necessarily the specific term that we should all come to and agree upon, but I think it's an interesting discussion to start having. And the more of these discussions that we start having to help kind of define some of these terms, when we start doing that amongst ourselves, when we start talking amongst ourselves about these different definitions, then that will start to permeate into the HR and into the management so that they start to hear these same words that we're using, and because we're being more specific with our language and more targeted with our language, that invariably should mean that they become more targeted with their language. Because honestly, I mean, some managers and most HR people have no idea what these buzzwords even mean, right? They don't really know what this means. And when you go in and when they put some sort of article, or I'm sorry, job posting up, saying all of these buzzwords, and you go and apply, and you think, yeah, I'm going to be able to do good for this job. I'm going to be able to, this is right up my alley. And then, next thing you know, HR says, you don't match the qualifications. It's like, but I do, and it's mostly because HR systems typically don't understand these words that we are using in technology. So having more of these discussions, bringing up these words, kind of putting more meaning and definition to them, should help to permeate into those systems in like HR and management that are trying to figure out how to do the employment. So hopefully this has started the discussion. I really did enjoy this article. I'm going to go ahead and post a link to it in the description below this video, so if you want to go ahead and read it. And once again, you can go to my Facebook page, facebook.com/programming made easy. Again, I like to post a lot of stuff there. I post articles, I post memes, I sometimes just make little comments just here and there, just because I like to do that. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit that thumbs up button. Make sure that you like it. Also, don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you want to. There is that little bell thing. You guys know about the bell icon, that when you subscribe, there's this little bell icon. If you click on that, it will also notify you whenever I post a new video. So that's a really good thing to go ahead and do. Anyway, hopefully I see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for joining me today. Bye-bye. I want to thank everybody who's joined up recently and become a member at ProgrammingMadeEasy.com. That includes Rishi, SAA Consulting, Miss Killam Softly, and Olubayu Olasakan. I believe that's how you pronounce it. I really apologize. You know me, I'm terrible with names. But I really appreciate everybody who has so far signed up and become a member. If you're interested in becoming a member, you can just simply go to my YouTube channel page. You can easily access this page by going to ProgrammingMadeEasy.com, and it'll redirect you to the YouTube channel. And if you go here, you'll see that there is a join button. You just click on that, and for $5 a month, you get a bunch of neat little things. You get access to me directly, so you can submit questions to me directly using a special form that I have. You also get your name mentioned at the end of every video that I record during that time that you are a member. And also, you'll have access to some exclusive content where you can ask me questions and answers in a special members-only chat. So if you guys want to join, go ahead and just, once again, go to my channel, click on that join button, and you too can also get mentioned along with these lovely people. Thanks for watching.